North Korea, one of the most well-known dictatorships. Known for their missiles, strange laws, and criminal dictator, they are one of the most isolated nations on the planet. It can be seen as one of the most depressing countries to ever exist, and one of the most creatively bankrupt nations because of the regime's strict laws on movies, shows, and music. But what about video games? Well, would you believe me if I told you that there is a small video game scene in North Korea? You should. Now, it's not as big as the ones in other countries, but there is a small amount of games obviously. But there aren't that many that we, outside of North Korea, can play. But there are a few. In 2003, North Korea launched its first state-controlled website called... What?
우리 민족끼리
Which also had social media accounts with propaganda and archives of songs, films, and shows. But there was another thing on this website. Flash games! So let's go and play some of them. Now, I have to state the obvious, which is, I'm not Korean. So I don't know what the game text means, so I will be using Google Translate to translate all of the game names. And hopefully, there aren't any mistakes. Oh boy, I hope there aren't any mistakes. Let's begin, shall we? First game on our list is Pickup Thieves, at least that's what Google Translate says. It's a Sokoban clone, but where you play as some Korean character, who has to put gems over pits, and in the pits there are some racist caricatures of Japanese people, and Americans, but who the fuck cares? For some reason this game was hard for me, and I think I know the reason. Because I'm stupid. Here I make a mistake and I try to find an option where I can undo the mistake, because the only button I know is the reset button, which resets everything. So I think, let me press the arrow button, and then I move to the next level. Turns out this is a level select option, which I didn't know. Anyways, did I beat this game? No. No, I did not. I have a headache. Joseon was a dynasty that controlled Korea in 1392 up to 1879, until it was replaced by the Korean Empire. And from what I have been able to gather, North Korea still uses the name for itself and Korea as a whole. Now this game is pretty simple. It's just a game where you have to guess the correct names of these locations and then paste them on the map. I made a lot of mistakes here since I can't read Korean, but they didn't seem to impact anything other than the points. Not even the timer changed. And I beat the game with 2,470 points. Try and beat my score, I dare you. You can't. How do I rate this game? It gets 2 red stars from me, because it's boring. Fun flash game, yeah, maybe fun to you, but not to me. I will be rating these games in a ranking list, so the Sokoban clone has 3 red stars, and this one has 2. Now, I don't think that's the real game name, but that doesn't matter as much, since it's just whack-a-mole, where you have to hit these people. Yes, these blurred stuff are people, but I don't think I can show them because racism! But they do have small signs that say stuff like anti-unification. A funny thing about this game is whoever made this game did not limit the hammer from being at multiple places at once, so I just spammed it! I apologize to the headphone users who are about to hear a cacophony of hammers. But either way, this game is not that fun, so it gets 2.5 red stars out of 5, since the spamming of hammers made me laugh. Let's all work together. Let's smash the other country party! Okay, so this has to be the wrong game title. You know that minigame in Mario Paint where you swat flies? Yeah, this is the same thing, but with politicians who I believe are George Bush and Shinzo Abe, but I can't be sure. This game sucks, that's all I'm gonna say. Multiple times I hit them, but no, it doesn't count for some reason. What kind of bullshit is this? This gets a 1 out of 5 red stars from me. This game has you shoot Japanese people with weapons of your choosing. Medieval weapons, not guns. Personally, I find it's an okay game. It just gets boring after a while. You can choose your weapons, but they're all the same. What if I could only use the mace in close combat? Why can't I throw all of the weapons? Anyways, I like the music in this game, so this game gets a 3.5 out of 5 red stars. Wow, this game looks very wholesome, and it's the same character from the first game. I sure hope this game is not annoying and or doesn't have any racism in it. This game pisses me off. Because there is this mechanic where you can hit the enemies, and for some reason, every time I tried to hit one, sometimes it would just turn me around to look down. Why does this keep happening? I kept losing health because of this poorly coded thing. Like, this game sucks. I hate it. Also, in this game you can teleport and collect axes. You can't use the axes though. Other than that, I like how the fire has more animation frames than anything else. 1.5 red stars. This game ending has a statement, which I agree with. Let us vigorously carry out the three major patriotic movements of independent unification: anti-war, peace, and national unity under the banner of our people. Anyway, so it's a fighting game with just such shit hitboxes. Like, you can see me hit the purple guy multiple times, but it doesn't count for some goddamn reason. Why am I'm literally kicking him in the face. What? No, that doesn't count. So I beat the guy 3 times. Think that I beat the game? Nope, 2 more times. Of bad collisions. Wonderful, I'm so glad this game is continuing. 0.5 red stars. I've seen Mario Flash games with better melee combat. This game is good. It's a fun puzzle game where you have to build a train track before the train arrives. It's pretty hard, but I liked it. But I hated some of the tracks. But it's pretty fun. I give 4 red stars for this game. I genuinely think I might play this game even after the video comes out. Update, I still haven't beat level 3. Fuck. So I think I have to censor this entire game except for the intro. So let me just read the intro cutscene. The most vicious peso killer. Li Hoi Chang is a scary person. Anyone who stands next to Li Hoi Chang will die. If Li Hoi Chang becomes president, he will become a dictator worse than previous dictators. Fanatics of division and confrontation. I doubt which country Li Hoi Chang is from. King of corruption. He is a man who cannot be fooled by the money. I think the translation was buzzed up with this one because, like, King of corruption, who cannot be fooled by money. What? How can such a scoundrel become president? And then they hang the guy. Li Hoi Chang was the prime minister of South Korea from 1939 to 1949. And from what I have been able to research, he's a staunch conservative against communism. But most importantly, he was very much against the Sunshine Policy. The Sunshine Policy was a time where the North and the South decided, hey, let's chill out for a bit. North Korea sent some of their most talented performers to the South, and the South did the same. Like, it was actually a pretty calm time, with like a hopeful mood in the air. But after a while it kind of fell through, which was a shame. Oh yeah, the game is not fun. It's bad. I couldn't even hang the guy even when I tried. 0 stars, game sucks. Another boring game. Remember those games where you hit or punch a random thing? That's what this is. Lee Myung-bak was the 10th South Korean president, and he was not a fan of North Korea due to further provocations. So obviously they would hate him. I don't have to say much about this game. It's 1 red star, because at least I can punch him, not like the other game. This game confuses me a bit. You have to basically shoot the birds with the amount of arrows you are given per level, and there are gold birds that give you power-ups like Zeus's powers, or triple arrows, or more arrows. Oh, and by the way, yeah, that's that music in the background. Yeah, that I didn't add that in. That's actually in game. That is the Naruto Sandstorm playing in the background. Let's party, bitches! It gets boring after a while because it's not that hard. Let me tell you though, the first time I heard that playing, I thought I developed schizophrenia or something because Why Naruto Sandstorm? Why that song? 3 out of 5 red stars because funny. But now, for possibly the most well-known North Korean game ever, the most fun game ever, let me introduce the best game developed by NoSo Tech. Ooh, just listen to that main menu music. This game wasn't actually made by the same people as the other games on the list, but by Koryo Tours, which is a tour company that specializes in visits to North Korea. This game has given me more fun than any game I have ever played. You know what? Is North Korea even that bad? Drive straight. Don't look at me. I'm on duty. Yeah, I'm trying to do that. Now, some stuff are weird in this game. For example, you cannot drive onto the grass. You just get teleported back to your last position. Plus, there are very few cars on the road, which is most likely due to performance reasons, but also maybe because North Korea actually has very few cards, since they cost too much for a citizen to buy one. Mostly only government officials or the 1% get cards. So you basically just have to collect 11 pamphlets with North Korea's sites on them and do not hit cars or vans. It's not my fault that the car was right in front of that petrol barrel. The petrol barrel hit the car. Oh, you also have to collect those to keep on driving. There isn't anything more that I can say. Other than that, the music is very good. Oh, for sakes, not again. Do not hit cars or vans. Oh, that right there is a... Oh my god. The Pyongyang Hotel. Yay. Maybe one of the most iconic buildings in North Korea, which looks amazing from the outside, but in the inside... There's absolutely nothing inside, dude. There's nothing. I mean, what? This is a beautiful hotel. This building is a great metaphor to North Korea. Beautiful outside, ugly interior. Also, it kind of looks like it would be the building of some evil corporation in a movie. So, those were some of the games of North Korea. At least some of them. See, North Korea actually has more games, but we don't really have any access to them. But we have seen some slight glimpses of them. I'm going to be using some clips from the channel Mr. Who's a Boss, because he actually got access to North Korean phones, which, yeah, those exist somehow. But from what I've seen, there is an FPS game, a football game, which funnily enough, one of the members of a football club who is South Korean is entirely gone from the team. And some of those games you would see in a shitty mobile gaming ad. Is that a sequel to Pyongyang Racer? We got Pyongyang Racer 2 before GTA 6. Also, there seems to be some arcades in North Korea. The only evidence of this I have seen is from Wikipedia. There's a hunting game that's like Duck Hunt where you have to shoot the animals. And there's also Namco Cyber Cycles. This is probably the first time they have ever seen a motorcycle in their lives. But I wondered while working on this video about the coders of these games that I covered, because there are no credits, which I mean, come on, at least credit the guys who spent time on these games. But wherever they are, if they aren't in a prison camp, I hope they are doing well, because some of these games actually were fun. So thank you, North Korean Flash Coder, for making Martyrs Road and Pyongyang Racer. Thanks for watching. Now it's for the unscripted part of the video. Yippee! Woohoo! Thank you for the reception on the headphone video. I spent a lot of time on that video and I'm glad people are enjoying it. Yeah. This is another video that I have been wanting to make for a while. I gotta check my video ideas list for the next video. Maybe I'm gonna cover something else, but I don't know what yet. Maybe I might cover Half-Life 2, or Half-Life 3, or Half-Life 4. But, yeah, thank you for watching these videos. Please get me to 1 million subs at the end of this year.